Hello boys, it is me. Today we're going to be going over two variations of a Stormlash Barbarian. So I have seen some comments here or there regarding this. I've left a couple myself. A few of you might be looking out for this build, which I said was on the way. Oh my god, get out of here. So, we're going to be covering two variants of Stormlash. If you're not familiar with what the Stormlash is, here it is. So, it is an extremely high-end unique, okay? You've got increased attack speed, static field on attack, which is nuking down bosses and other packs, okay? Also within a small radius. A good chunk of lightning damage on there, close to 500. Crushing blow, lightning absorb. It really is everything you'd want. It's looked over, it's definitely outshunned by other rune words, most notably like death, beast, grief, all of that bullshit. So you don't see too many people typically using this in-game. It is very good. It is very good. So I was testing a few different builds. I've come up with two that are good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you my gear for this setup. We're going to do Players 8 Terrorized Pits, which are going to be level 96. And then we will switch to the other setup and then we'll go through there. Okay? We're going to start with the physical setup first. So, with the physical setup, we have two Eth Stormlash for more physical damage, right? We've got Zold runes in there, so they're indestructible. We have Metamorph on our helm. That gives us Warcry and Battle Orders. We can save points in Warcry just to get access to that for stun when we're teleporting in. You've seen it in a few other tele swing melee Barbarian builds, and I just love the utility of it. So I'm putting it in here. Everything else on here is very good. Okay, you've got Canopy Frozen, you've got a little bit of Crushing Blow on there, but we've also got Werebear, which we're going to get from our Beast on Switch. Okay, we've got Hoto, we have Beast, that is going to give us Mark of the Bear, so we have 25 flat attack speed, and then physical damage reduction for our physical setup. We have High Lords, we have Ravenfrost, Arachnids, we have a Ring, we have Laying of Hands for more physical damage, and then we've got Gore Riders. I know we don't need the Ravenfrost, but I left it on just to save me switching out that Ring for this, but all we can really do is just put another FCR Ring on, and then we'll get our cast rate up slightly higher, over that 37 FCR breakpoint. So we've got 320s down here, we've got Torch, I'm missing my Annihilus. Sue me, boys, I'm sorry. I've got my Bone Break here, and I've got max damage and attack rating skillers, okay, that I've put in. Mercenary, we have Might for more damage. We have Reaper's Toll for Decrepify for 50% more on targets. Andes and Fortitude, okay? So that's pretty much the gist of it. We've got Warcry +1 skill, which we get from that Helm base, which is really niche. We've got Battle Orders maxed out, 1.1 wonders there. We've got Mace Mastery maxed, because that's important. We're using Scourges. We have Max Stamina, because that's a synergy for Frenzy. So when we're smacking with Frenzy, we want to maintain the attack speed from that as long as possible. That's why we're maintaining high increased stamina, and then we're going to be using Double Swing. So Double Swing, we're going to be hitting more attacks per second because it's a double swing, double billy, double swing, haha, hee hee. But that's going to be proccing static more. So that's definitely more ideal for bosses and heavy targets, but you can get away with Frenzy, but you hit a little bit more with adjacent targets with Double Swing. So we won't cover all of the stat skills next, but you know, we can cover that now at the start. So gameplay, we're going to put up to Players 8, boys. Players 8. Let's switch, we'll buff up. We've got 4800, 405. Let's go find some poor sod to get this Mark of the Bear up. Good. Okay, so let's go ahead and do... Oh, did we get a rune? Lun rune, sick. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a pit run, which is TZ. And this is offline. Okay, we max levels. This is 96 TZ. Players 8. So this is peak off meta shit right here, boys. Alright? Where we at? Alright. Here we go. Warcry when we're hopping in. Frenzy, get the Frenzy stacks up. And then Double Swing. I'll put timestamps down below so you guys can switch over and see the other variant when we go through. But we'll start off with this just to kind of set the pace, you know? Make sure we get those frenzy stacks up. Nice. I wanted to cover both variants here instead of doing like 2 separate videos, because I felt like they're kind of similar. I was leaning towards this physical variant being better than the other one, but I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge, because they're both really cool, and they both effectively do the same thing, and the build is the same. Yo! Thundersharp, let's go. Just depends on how you want to round it out. Like, the skills are going to be the same. We're not going to be re-specking. We're only going to be switching out gear when we get to the end. Watch them all drop once we static everything down. Nice. I ain't the fastest, but we're getting the job done, boys. That's what matters. Even with just 1 point into Warcry, stun is 3 seconds. With Tally stomping in, oh, it's so good. It's so worth it, boys. I highly recommend it. Like, even if you're doing Trav runs, get a +3 Warcry Helm base, make a temper, hop in, stun lock the buggers so they stop casting Hydras. And then you've got Fire Absorb from the Helm too. Like, you've got options, man. There we go, not too bad. So we'll finish off. So again, this is Players 8 96 TZ. So max TZ. Alright? That's the physical variant. Alright? Decrypify on the Mercenary with Might. Okay? So let's reset now. That's about 7 minutes 30 in. We'll put the timestamps here. And let's go back. So what we're going to switch now is we're going to change out all the physical options and lean in towards the lightning damage from Stormlash. I'm going to keep these ethereal with a Zod. It feels a lot more consistent that way instead of doing non-ethereal with facets. Okay, but Metamorph is going to go. We have 2 options of either a Dream or a Griffin's. So for this, I'm going to put the Dream in there. It gives more flat damage. Okay. On Switch, we can get rid of the Beast. We can put our second Hodo just to bump up Battle Orders a bit higher. That's fine. We can keep the Ravens there. That fits. But we have Infinity. So I'm going to put Infinity on the Mercenary, and we'll get rid of the Reapers. Okay. So for this, our damage is slightly higher on sheet damage because we have the Holy Shock aura at 15. We also have 473 from each of these. Okay. So I can show you here, we've got 4840. Now if I switch out the Dream with my Griffins, 4296. So although it gives us a little bit of minus res on there, it's not as good sheet DPS as the Dream, and we do have access to Warcry and Battle Orders. I've seen, the reason why I'm showing this even if I'm not going to use it is because I saw comments and people mentioning Griffin's Eye with Stormlash, and from testing it, I don't really see much point. Okay, so Infinity, that's sitting in there. We are still on Players 8. We're going to do exactly the same run just to show you guys the alternative. Okay, we can switch. We can get this a little bit higher. So we're over 5,000 now. We just don't have access to that Mark of the Bear, whatever. I do think this variant is cooler, but physical was a little bit more consistent. But it does depend on where you're farming, obviously, boys. But they are similar. Oh. Frenzy stacks. Too bad. I like seeing the lightning kind of smash everywhere. Alright, let's go. Plays 8, 96 TZ. Yo, another Sunder, let's go. I didn't even check the other one. But we're 2 for 2 with our pit runs so far. That's pretty good. I thought that was another one. Should I take it anyway, boys? Why not? Alright, just because I know some people are curious and I kind of want to do it myself, I'm going to switch out the Dream for the Griffins, okay? So we're going to lose Warcry, but we're going to gain a little bit more. We've got increased attack speed duel with a little bit of res on there. I can't switch it out for the facet just yet. I didn't have one handy. So let's go ahead and do this. So our sheet DPS is a little bit lower, but that's fine. You know, we still get more minus res on there. And we still have a similar amount of physical damage too, so it's pretty similar to clear speed there. Anything down there? Not really. So attack rating at plenty. Plenty on the attack rating. Okay. Let's finish off on level 2. Ooh. This is why I do like the Warcry. I'll take the reduce, hell yeah. A little bit messy without the Warcry, that's kind of why I preferred it last time. If you have some other option to stun or crowd control or whatever, maybe you're doing like max Grimoire with this, sure, you know. I did hear a charm back there. We've got too many grand charms, boys. I kind of want to check anyway. But there you go. That's the kind of comparison for you guys on Stormlash, different ways you can build it. You can lean into the elemental damage that it has, that's 473, nearly 1,000 lightning damage alone, just from these two. And you can change out the, you know, chest plate if you'd like facets and things like that, but yeah, in terms of like ease of farming, you have a shit ton of physical damage, you got a big chunk of crushing blow, you can choose whether you want to, you know, tidy up the top end and make it more physical, or add on for more lightning damage. Either works, boys. Either works, okay? I'm going to pop that Dream back on because it looks pretty cute, and we'll see what we got here. So 1 to 14 lightning damage, we got 81 fire sunder, and we actually got a Geeds instead. That's pretty funny. But yeah, thanks boys. Let me know down below, what do you think? What do you think is better? Hey, do you think lightning Stormlash, or do you think physical Stormlash? Let me know in the comments below. See you boys.